Hello everyone, welcome to another knowledge lesson. We are all finished learning about the War of 1812. We have finished all of our stories about it. Today we're going to review. The first thing that we're going to do to help us review what we've learned is a little bit of research. When you research something, you're learning more about it. There are two PDFs attached to today's assignment. You'll want both of them open. One of them doesn't need to be opened in Kami, mine is, but you can just have yours open as a PDF. On this page, there are a couple of articles I found about 4 different people or things that we've learned about in this domain. There is an article about Jean Lafitte, one about Andrew Jackson, one about the Battle of New Orleans, and one about the Battle of Baltimore. The first thing you'll need to do today is pick one of those 4 things to write about and to do some more research about. When you're doing research, you may use these articles that I've provided, or with a parent's help, you can use the internet to find more information about these people and events. After you have selected which person or event you will be researching, I want you to read the article that I've provided about them. You may go back and watch any of our previous videos about these people or events if you would like. When you feel like you have done enough research that you could teach someone else about this person or this event, then you're going to come to the other PDF. The very first page on the other PDF looks like this. It has a chart that's asking some questions: who, what, where, when, and why. You are going to answer all 5 of these questions about the person or event that you have chosen. So if you have chosen to research Andrew Jackson, your who will be Andrew Jackson. There we go. Your what will be who was he? What was he? Why was he important? Andrew Jackson was a general in the War of 1812. What else could you tell me about Andrew Jackson? On where, you'll tell me where he did something important. Where did he do something important? Remember, he fought in the Battle of New Orleans. My answers here are very brief. I want you to put a little bit more details in your answers when you fill this out. When? I'm going to have to look back at my research because I don't remember when the Battle of New Orleans took place exactly. We'll see if it says on December 23rd in 1815. And why? Why was Andrew Jackson important? And why was the role that he played in the Battle of New Orleans important? You'll answer all 5 of those questions with whatever event or person you have decided to research. Remember, to complete your research to help you answer these questions, you can go back and review any of our previous videos. You can read the articles that I have posted in the second PDF. Or with a parent's help, you can do a little bit of research online and see if there's anything else you can learn to fill in these boxes. Make sure you have lots of detail in those boxes, not short answers like mine, but lots of detail that answers those questions fully. When you are finished with your research, there are 2 more things that we're going to do today to help us review what we've learned. Go ahead and pause this video until you have finished your research and are ready for the next activity. All right, on our second part of our assignment today, I have a map that has some important locations from the War of 1812 labeled. We have Lake Erie, Baltimore, Chesapeake, Washington, D.C., and then New Orleans twice. New Orleans on land by the Mississippi River and on the water in the ocean. Each of these is labeled with a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There are 6 statements about these different places. We're going to work together on this one to decide which place or which location on our map each of these is talking about. We're going to do this together so it doesn't get too confusing. We have 2 sets of numbers. So our numbers won't match. The number of the location won't match the number of the question. So don't worry too much about the numbers. We'll do names instead of numbers. I've been planning on having you write the number of the location, but we'll do names to make this more simple. Let's look at question number 1. Question number 1 says the British planned on using this lake to enter the United States from Canada. Remember, Canada is north, we follow our compass rose, north of the United States. The lake that they had used to enter the US from Canada for the first part of their plan of attack was Lake Erie. Location number 3. Well, we'll just write Lake Erie to make it easier so we don't get all confused with all of the numbers. Let's look at question number 2. Question number 2 says, a battle happened in this city after the peace treaty was signed. After the peace treaty was signed, a battle was fought here. Do you remember which city that was? That was the city of New Orleans. I'm going to put a number 6 next to that one. So I remember that that was on land. Number 1. There we go. Let's look at question number 3. The British attacked this city, the capital of the United States. Let's look at our map. Where is the capital of the United States? Is the capital New Orleans? No. Is it Washington, D.C.? You've got it. The British attacked Washington, D.C., and remember they burned the president's house. But Dolly Madison, the president's wife, was able to rescue some important papers and a painting of George Washington. Let's look at number 4. This includes the coastal cities of Baltimore and Washington, D.C. Remember, attacking coastal cities like Baltimore and the attack on Washington, D.C. was the second part of Britain's 3-part plan. We didn't talk too much about this name for coastal cities, but this name is Chesapeake. Chesapeake Bay included cities on the coast. Let's move that up. There we go. Number 5. The British wanted to seize New Orleans to gain control of the Mississippi River. This one gave it away. Our answer is in the question. This is New Orleans again. Remember, the Mississippi River was an important trade route and was how the United States shipped a lot of their supplies. So if the British were to gain control of the Mississippi River, it would be very bad for the United States. But luckily, Andrew Jackson was able to beat the British in the Battle of New Orleans. And number 6, the Battle of Fort McHenry was near here. That is our last city on our map, Baltimore. Fort McHenry was near Baltimore. Remember, during the Battle of Baltimore, Sir Francis Scott Key wrote our nation's national anthem. All right, thank you for reviewing those places with me. Those will be important on your test in our next lesson. We'll take a test in our next lesson, and you will need to know these places. So take some time to look at that and remember where all of those important places are. And if you are ready for our third and final part of our assignment today, go ahead and scroll down to that last page. If you're not quite ready, pause until you are. All right, my friends. On this very last section here, we have two different lists. We have a list of people and events from the War of 1812 that we learned about. And on this side, we have some descriptions. Your job is to match the person or event to the description. I'll read each of these for you once. If you need to go back and listen to me reading them again, you can do that as many times as you need to. I'm going to start with our letters. Actually, before I read them aloud, I'm going to tell you what to do with them. You're going to draw a line. You can use the drawing tool. Or is there a line on shapes? You can use a line to connect them. Again, it can be whatever color you'd like. If it's easier for you, you can write the letter that matches underneath the number. So if James Madison wrote the national anthem, you can put a B under number 1. You choose how you would like to complete this. You can draw lines, or you can write the letter. Okay, let me read those names and places for you, and I'll read the descriptions after. A, the Battle of Fort McHenry. B, James Madison. C, the Mississippi River. D, Warhawks. E, Mary Pickersgill. F, Francis Scott Key. G, Jean Lafitte. H, Dolly Madison. I, Andrew Jackson. J, Old Ironsides. Let me go read those descriptions. 1. I wrote the national anthem. 2. I saved a portrait of George Washington during the attack on Washington. 3. I was a pirate that helped defend New Orleans. 4. This was the battle where the Star-Spangled Banner was written. 5. This is a nickname for the ship, the USS Constitution. 6. I was the US President during the War of 1812. 7. This group of people wanted to go to war with Great Britain. 8. I ordered the construction of entrenchments around New Orleans. 9. I was a large river that was important for trade in America. And 10. I made a huge American flag at the Battle of Fort McHenry. You may go back and listen to me reading the names and places or descriptions as many times as you would like to. As soon as you have a line drawn for each one, or a number written under a letter written under each description. You are all finished with your assignments for today, and you should be ready for our test next time. Go ahead and get that one turned in for today, and I will see you next time.